Hi everybody, welcome to day 20 of December 2022. I can't believe we're this far along and I actually made it. Yay. So, it is Grunge and a Snippet strip. And yesterday we did our fabric and page tabs, and it's probably one of my favorite parts so far of December for my journal. And today we're gonna do the Grunge and Snippet strip. So when I get a piece of fabric, what I tend to do, I'm just putting that there for now so you don't have to just see or hear my voice. What I tend to do is I usually buy half yards unless it's something super spectacular that I'm just in love with, and I'll buy a whole yard. And I will cut off a 6-inch piece by whatever the fabric is, and then I will cut off a 1 to 2-inch strip, and then I will keep it on these little C-rings, and I will hang it in my craft area right near where I am, so I could use it anytime I want. It also kind of helps me know what I have, and if I use it, I might replace it, I might not. Every so often I'll go through my fabric again and see if things are missing, if I want to replenish, if I want to put a couple on, if I just want to put one on. And so I have a few of these C-rings on my area. So I did make a snippet strip a few weeks ago in the Nick the Booksmith style, and we're going to do the same kind today. And what you do is you take a size piece of muslin or other base that you want, and then you line it up, then you line each piece up and you sew them on, and you can add lace or whatever else you want in there. And I did that. Let's see, is that right? That is not right. And then you cut them to the size you want. So I did, and on this strip I grunged it up and stuff, and we're gonna do another piece similar to this, and we're gonna do it together. And the sewing I'll do off camera because you know that's boring. But here we go. So I'm gonna cut a piece to about, oh, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 inches to, we'll see. We'll just see where it goes. So let's see, this one is about 8 inches. No, it's 9 inches wide. That's fine. And we'll just tear a little bit. And I don't want to go a whole lot longer than I know make my strips. We're right about there. So let's just cut maybe here, and we know we'll have leftovers on our strips probably, which is fine because that can go in the jar of little extras. Okay. All right, let's put that to the side. All right, so then we have this. All right, maybe I have to come out a little bit, right? Okay. So we have this, and this is very stringy, you guys, usually for me. So then I have to start picking what I want. So as you guys can see, I have tons of different colors, and I want to think about this journal. So I know I'm going to use some of these because my journal is more on the grunge side. And I will get some laces. So let's see here. Let's pick. I do want to use this because I have my tab. So I'm going to use this in there somewhere. And how I'm laying them right now is not how they're going to go. They're just pieces I'm pulling. Let's see here. I feel like this is really pretty and it could go in there somewhere. Okay. And then at least one more piece of something in here. Let's see. I like this piece here. Now if yours, sometimes mine is too wrinkled, so I will take a small iron to it, so just to let you know. Okay, so there's those. Let's see, go through this one. I do like the grays in there too, and I like this one. Joann's recently had their fat quarters on sale, so I got a bunch of those, which I really liked. They were on sale for $1. Oh, I got 2 here, so which one do I like better? I like that. I think I'm gonna go with that one for this. And I do like the gray. Let's see, I can do 2 gray, I think. I'm gonna do the polka dot, and oops, I am also gonna do the one that kind of looks tree barky. And I do want a little bit of color in here that will match, and I do have some blues and stuff in the journal, so I'm gonna pull this big, well, do I have a skinnier one? Do I just have the big fatty? think I'll do that, but I might cut it, you know, I think I will cut it down. So we'll put that there. But again, these are not the order. And then I think I'm gonna, let's see, do I want one more with color? Let's see, I got that. That, I do like that. I think I'm gonna pull that one. Okay, so we'll pull those two. And that's gonna be it for now. And I might not even be able to use all that I picked, so. All right, I am gonna be right back. I'm gonna go grab my lace and we're gonna see what we're gonna use from there. I picked a couple of my favorite trims that I got from Amazon. I've got this crochet lace and this one, and we may or may not use them both. And then this white lace. Let's see, you can't really see that too good, huh? And this white lace. So that's what we got. Now I love white lace too, even cream crochet trim, because you can dye them pretty easily. So I did cut this down some, but I did cut it down from the end first so I wouldn't have to make this too much smaller. And then there is my little extra piece. So now we're gonna decide what order we want these in. Let's see here. Okay, so I've got my blues, my grays, my browns, my yellows. Kind of didn't mind how it was a little bit, but let's start with that. So I don't want him right in the middle. I mean, right on the end. I think I'm gonna want that one in the middle. So I'm gonna start with this one, I think. Okay, and then, so what I tend to do is, for me, I'll go ahead and lay them all out and I will take a picture of how I like it, and then I will go back and glue it. So there's that. Maybe that, we'll see. Ooh, I like that next to that. And let's see, maybe actually I like the yellow next to the brown. Or do I like, this is gonna take a minute. That with that, with that, with that. Okay, with that. Sorry if it moves. I kind of like the grays eating off each other, or I kind of like the grays working off each other. And for right now, it doesn't matter what is sitting off top of each other. Okay, I like that. That works for me. Ooh, let's put that guy right in the middle. The elf on the shelf just made an appearance in my house. He just came out. I'm the only one in the room and he just came out. All right, this is the order I think I'm gonna go in. And my phone actually has a button where I can take a picture while I'm taking a video, so. And then we do want to put some of this in. So now you can make this its own actual, like, straight up layer, or you can add it here and, sorry, here and there where you want it. So I think I'm gonna add that piece in there. And let's go for a crochet piece. Actually, do I want to go over to there? I'm gonna put it there, and then piece here, and I'm gonna do 1, 2 piece there. I think I'm gonna do this, and then do I want a piece at the end maybe? You know what? Why the heck not, right? So I just gotta find the end of this. Let's see if that looks, if it's too much, or if I should put it here and readjust. I feel like maybe I do this and then I do that. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this is what we have now, our basic idea. And obviously it will not come out exactly like that because it never works like that for me. So I am going to take a minute and I will be right back. Okay, so I have all my little strips to the side and I have one down here. Now it doesn't really matter if you go bottom to top or top to bottom. You could even turn it this way and go if you want to. But I'm going to go bottom to top, and I'm just going to take a little bit of my Fabri-Tac. You don't want to do too much because you're going to sew around this. So I'm just going to take a little bit and go along the edge, and then I'm going to put my fabric however I like it. I'm going to go a little off the edge on this because on the bottom because it's not even, but we are going to sew. So this is what I'm going to do all the way up, and then I will come back and show you how that. This is what we have now. Everything is glued down where I want it. The top and the bottom are over a little bit, but I don't mind that. And I do want to cut off the edges here, and this is what I have already cut off because the pieces were just way too long. So I'm gonna see where I'm at here, and I'm just gonna go ish along the edge. Okay, you want a nice pair of sharp scissors. Okay, and then this is what we have, and all that extra will go in my, you know, I have this bits jar of fabrics and laces and trims and all that good stuff. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my sewing machine, and I am going to sew around the edges, and then along each piece I'm going to put a stitch so that it stays in place when we cut it apart. And then like on this one, I go through and I stitch where I think it needs a little bit more. I'll go along so that it stays when you cut it apart. So I will stitch, and then I will come back with you guys, and I will cut each section the size I want it, and then we'll see what we have. Okay, so all right, this is what we have so far, and I went around all the whole edge one time. Then I made sure every single piece was stitched down somewhere. There's the back side. And like in this one, after I cut it, I'm going to go around all the edges. So let us get our ruler out and a pencil, and then decide how big we want these. The width of my ruler is 1.5 inches. The smallest I went was 1 inch, and that is pretty persnickety, but I do want at least is that 1 inch? Pretty close, almost 1 inch. So let's do a couple at this length, and I don't have a rotary cutter, so we are just going to have to cut it with some good sharp scissors. And I should get a rotary cutter if I'm going to keep doing these. So let's get one of these going, this size. Okay, so I'm just going to, oops, that is way off. No big deal, we can re-pencil. Okay, so I'm just going to show you one, then I will go off camera and cut the rest and show you what I have when I'm done. Okay, so here's one. We're just going to cut that right up the line. Okay, so here's what we're left with. This was on an end, so you've got the sewing on the end here, which looks great. But then you have this open end. So even though I caught every layer, you're still going to have that can catch. So I like to go ahead and sew that end up. So I am going to go ahead and cut the rest of my sizes, and then I'll show you what I have. This is what I have now. So I cut all my parts. I sewed around all the edges, and then on some of them I sewed zigzag stitches in various places like I like to do, just to give it some more texture and character. Let's see, on one I didn't do it at all. This one I went horizontal. Okay, then on this one I did a running stitch all up and down crazy to make it look fun, and I did go ahead and spray on there, so it's got some grunge to it. Now it is late here, and I wish I had done more on this video to be able to finish it tonight, but I am exhausted. So tomorrow I will show you guys what my finished project is. It is going to be this guy. I may cut it down some. I think I'm going to make a belly band in my journal, and I'm going to sew some buttons on there and maybe add some little pieces of lace and things like that on top, just to make it more puffy and yummy. So anyhow, you guys, that is my grunge. And what was the other thing on here? We had our grunge and our snippet strip. So that is what we've got today, and it is mostly done, and we will see the rest tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.